Hello students, this is the second video in our Parts of Speech series. This week you will learn about verbs. Make sure to complete your worksheet along with this video. A verb signals an action, an occurrence, or a state of being. Whether mental, physical, or mechanical, verbs express activity. We will focus on three types of verbs: action, linking, and helping. First, let's look at action verbs. Action verbs simply state the action being performed by someone or something. In the sentence, Jake and Amy jogged, jogged is an action verb. Now let's look at some more examples. In these sentences, the action verbs are in all caps. In the first sentence, talked is the action verb. Likes is the action verb in the second sentence, and heard is the action verb in the third sentence. Other than the action verbs, there are no other verbs in any of these sentences. There are actually two types of action verbs. An action verb is either transitive or intransitive. Although you need to be familiar with these two categories, being able to accurately identify between a transitive and intransitive verb is less important at this point in class. Nonetheless, I do want to briefly discuss these two types of action verbs. First, let's look at transitive verbs. A transitive verb directs action towards something or someone named in the sentence. In other words, if the action verb has an object, it is transitive. An intransitive verb does not have an object. It directs action towards something or someone not named in the sentence. Now let's look at some examples of both. Here is a very simplistic example. In the first sentence, Robert baked a pie. Ask yourself, what did Robert bake? He baked a pie. The verb baked has an object, pie. It is therefore transitive. However, in the second sentence, we are just told that Robert bakes. We do not know what he bakes. There is no object. Here, the verb bakes is intransitive. Of course, it is not always that easy to identify if an action verb is transitive or intransitive. Let's look at some tougher examples. In the first sentence, waited is an intransitive action verb. There is no answer for waited what. That is tricky because we might think that bus is the object, but it isn't. One way to think of it is that Jamie waited works as a sentence. No object is needed. In the second sentence, rival is a transitive action verb. The word those is the object. The sentence, California cheeses now rival, would not work as a complete sentence. An object is needed. Pause the video here and complete the first section of your worksheet. Make sure to take a closer look at the transitive and intransitive examples on your worksheet as well. Linking verbs do not show action. Instead, they link two or more words in the sentence. The forms of to be are the most common linking verbs. There is a brief list on the screen, and there are more listed on your worksheet. Other linking verbs are appear, become, feel, look, and turn. There are more of these linking verbs listed on your worksheet as well. Here are some examples of linking verbs. In the first sentence, are links bulldogs to pets. In the second, turned links she and blue. And in the third, is links bread and fresh. Pause the video here and complete the linking verb portion of your worksheet before continuing. Lastly, we will look at helping verbs. Helping verbs work with other verbs to create verb phrases. They are sometimes called auxiliary verbs. Look back at the list of to-be verbs from the linking verbs section of your worksheet. These verbs can also be helping verbs. There's a list of other helping verbs on your worksheet as well. Look over them briefly. Let's look at some examples of helping verbs and verb phrases. In the first sentence, there is no helping verb. The action verb is talk. However, in the second sentence, will is the helping verb. Together with talk, it creates the verb phrase, will talk. In the third sentence, there is no helping verb. Returned is the action verb. However, in the fourth sentence, the helping verb should have helps the verb returned to form a verb phrase. The verb phrase is should have returned. Sometimes verb phrases can be interrupted. For example, look at the sentence, I should not have bought the dress. The verb phrase is should have bought. Not interrupts the phrase and is not actually part of the verb phrase. The word not is never part of a verb phrase. Thank you for watching. You can now stop the video and complete the last portions of your worksheet. Raise your hand when you're done so that I may review your work.